Disclaimer before I start the video. If you are closed-minded, leave the video right now. I'm saying this for your sake. Just go ahead, exit the video, leave the video, do what you gotta do, but forget about this video, leave. The concept of morality does not exist, bro. We need to start realizing this because apparently people think that morality is this universal force that hits down upon people or certain events or certain time periods and just doing things to certain people that have certain mannerisms or just their morality is all messed up. But I'm just simply here to tell you that simply is not the case. Morality is something that's been made up by humans, but it's not an actual real universal law that people should be living by. Well, obviously people should be good, but it's not necessarily something that the greatest people in the world, the most successful people in the world, the people that make the most money in the world are living by. The Bible literally says in Acts 10 verse 34, of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. If you were to put a baby and an adult on a top of a roof or a building, you were to make both of them fall, bro, both of them are going to fall and die. There's not going to be some intuitive force, magical force that's going to sweep up and save the baby. Both of them will fall and die. We all should intuitively know this. So it's like we all know and understand this, but yet some of us want to cope thinking that God will reward us for being a genuinely good person, for treating others kindly, for being respectful, for being nice, for just generally being a good person. But that is not the case. All you need to do is, like I mentioned before, put a baby and an adult on a tall building or roof. Make both of them fall. They will both die. That is just the flat out truth. And why do you think that is? It's just simply due to the fact that morality does not exist. You can put a baby and an adult at the tallest building of the world. You can drop them both. Bro, we all know and understand that there's not going to be some magical universal force that will save the baby and kill the adult. Both the baby and adult will drop dead because morality simply does not exist. And also vice versa as well. Why do you think some of the richest people in today's world, not all of them, but some of them, who their morality is just, they don't have morals, they are just completely evil people, but despite that, they're super successful, they have money, they're super rich, and they're essentially living good lives? Why do you think that is? It's as if people are trying to continuously cope with the fact that there's some universal good force that will save and kill evil people, but that's literally not the case. Like, there's just been so many instances in life where we could prove if morality is a real, actual universal law that exists, or if it's really just a man-made construct made by the idea of humans who kind of misconstrued how reality truly works. Like, we can literally go and test it right now. Now, obviously, don't kill anybody, but if we were to put a baby and an adult on a roof, and if they were to both fall, we all know it doesn't matter how religious you are, and it doesn't really matter if you're religious or not, we all know and understand both the baby and adults will be killed. But the only thing that does truly matter is frequency and mindset. Whoever that you want to consider your higher power simply does not care about morals. It does not care if you are good or bad. It simply cares about your frequency and your mindset, the thing that you use on a daily basis to consistently attract things to you, to manifest your life, whether if it's a good life or a bad life. That's all that simply matters. Your subconscious mind and your mindset being the only thing that will help you determine if you are going to live a life that's more closely aligned with you and how you want to live your life, or if you're going to live a life that's exactly the opposite of the life that you want to be able to live. It's your thinking patterns, how you think of things, how you're able to have a certain mindset to be able to attract things to you effortlessly and abundantly as well. Having the most positive attitude and treating people extremely nicely and just being nice to people in general is not going to save you from life. It simply won't. Life will continuously screw you over, whether if you have the most positive attitude on earth or whether if you have the most negative attitude on earth. It simply does not matter. I've personally met people who are just really good people. They're just great people. They're super respectful. They're nice. They're kind. They're just literally a good incarnate. But despite that, the situation says the exact opposite, right? Some aspect of their lives is just completely screwed over, right? Despite them being a good person, despite them having a great attitude, despite them treating people how they want to be treated, they're just completely still screwed over. So it really just comes to a point of understanding that if morality truly exists, okay, cool, you want to say that morality exists. Okay, cool. So then why Is it that people that are genuinely good people, just some of the nicest people on the face of the planet to ever exist in history, just have the worst lives? Why is that? And vice versa as well for people that are just generally bad people, but yet, despite their morality, despite them having bad morals, they don't know what it means to be a good person. They're just overall just a negative, bad person. They are rich, they're successful, they're doing what they want, they have money. Like, why is that the case? It comes to realization that morality does not exist. And it's like, if you disagree, I just simply don't think you've been through life enough. You just simply have not. Whoever that you want to consider your higher power will treat bad people the same just as much as good people. Now, before you misunderstand, I am not trying to say I want a world that has no morals. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Because just imagine it would literally be hell on earth and nobody wants that. But what I am trying to say is we need to stop coping. You will not be favored by God or whoever you want to consider your higher power by having the greatest attitude on earth or treating people really nicely. You simply won't, bro. And listen, if this was truly the case, if it was truly the case, then I want you to imagine just how much easier life would be on all different three planes of existence, mental, physical, and also spiritual, right? Life would be so much easier if we all just had the same good person mindset of, oh yeah, just treat people how you want to be treated, just having a great attitude, being nice to people, being respectful, and everything will come to you and you will be divinely protected by God. If this was truly the case, life would be so much easier for everyone that is just generally a good person, as I just described. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. If this was truly the case, bro, me, you, and everyone else on the entire planet, our lives would be so much better and easier. Whoever you want to consider your higher power, regarding if you're religious or not, it does not matter. Does not care if you are a good person, does not care if you are a bad person. The only thing that will determine how far you will ever get in your life and will also determine whether if you're able to live a life that's more closely aligned with you is your frequency, your mindset, and subconscious mind as well, but that's also mindset as well. But this is the true reason as to why morality simply does not exist, bro. It's a man-made construct made by humans, but it's not some sort of universal law that actually influences the way that we live our lives. It simply isn't. And like I mentioned before, I wouldn't want a world without morals. I have to emphasize this because that would literally be insane. Like, this world would be nuts if there was a world without morals. People would just be doing stuff left and right without even having any sort of regard within themselves if what they're doing is truly the right thing to be doing, right? But yeah, yo, so these are just kind of my thoughts. And like I mentioned before, if you disagree with me, cool. All you need to do is put a baby and an adult on a roof. Make both of them fall. Obviously, we're not interested in killing anybody, but we should all intuitively know and understand if both the baby and the adult were to fall, they would both fall and die. Both of them. There's not going to be some heroic universal force that's going to save the baby and leave the adult to die. That's just simply not the case, right? So, but yeah, yo, so these are just kind of my thoughts. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, but I'm going to go ahead and end the video off that. Hope you all enjoyed, and that's King Wanda's, and I'm out.